And you see this place that is so flat, something would swell and it would stay there for a long time. And occasionally it would become so painful that it would almost render my hand unusable. So every time I fell sick, I would present to the hospital and I would be treated and I would be okay. Until 2020, June 25th, we had just celebrated my husband's birthday, and a family, not June, July, and a family decided to come and visit us. And while we were escorting them, I started feeling cold and chilly. Esther, I'm telling you the truth. Many people who die, the way the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Many people in Kenya die because they do not have access to medical facilities.
And probably they die because they die not knowing what was ailing them.
They die not knowing what was ailing them. And you see now, if you know, you can avert it. You can prevent it.
So we are not actually born with lupus. The things from the research, okay, if you look at men, female, there's XX, XY, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm doing a bit molecular. So the XX, or one of the X genes, is a gene that inactivates autoimmune diseases, isn't it? So if you have two, probably one of them is not working. If you have one, it's definitely not working. That's why you have more ladies having it. So, but apart from that, there's some issues in the genes that put girls at risk. And then when that happens now, when something comes as a trigger, it wakes up.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Diagnosis, a health show where we listen, we learn, and we shine a light on real stories behind autoimmune and rare conditions. I am Esther Ashira, your host. Today we focus on a condition that many people don't fully understand, but it's real, it's serious, and deserves our attention. Lupus.
Lupus is a very interesting disease. So we have what we call the immune system. For those in biology. So the immune system is like the soldiers that fight infection. When you have lupus falls under what we call autoimmune diseases. So the immune system now fights you rather than doing what? Protecting you.
And to help us bring this condition to life, we have our guest, Irene Mudaki, who will give us her personal experience and just help us understand what it is like to live with lupus. Welcome to Behind the Diagnosis, Irene.
Thank you.
Yes, it's an honor, and I'm happy to host you.
I am also honored to be here today.
Okay. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. So honored to be here today behind the diagnosis. My name is Irene Mudaki. I am a pastor by calling and by training. My first career training is in agriculture, so I'm an agronomist also by profession. And many times I tell people agronomy and they wonder what is that. In simple terms, I would say I'm a crop doctor. So when your crops are sick, you get me, I will help you. And so that is agronomy, but I specialize in crop protection. I rarely practice that, except that now I'm just doing it for my own consumption at home. But I don't hesitate to help anyone that has a need in that area.
Wow. So how was it growing up as Irene? That little child to teenage and adulthood. How was it? Just briefly.
Grew up in a loving family, caring. Lived in different homes growing up. Lived with my parents, lived with my mom briefly. I lived with my auntie for about 7 years. And then I went to live with my dad. And my mother was living in the village. So I stayed mostly with my dad and my stepmom in my teenage and young adult. So that is like through primary school. Later, and late primary school and the whole of secondary school and college, I was living with my dad.
So you were such an active child.
Yes, I was.
And then lupus came.
Maybe before I talk of how lupus came, my mother says I'm one of the kids that never gave her trouble with sicknesses and diseases. She says that the only time she took me to hospital was to get my the vaccinations. So my mother does not know me being sick. So I grew up most of my childhood, like up to the age of 7, without any major issues. But I would even think even up to the age of 10. So at the age of 10, sometimes I would get accidents, and an accident that would not just heal. For example, I would hit my hand on a surface, the back of my hand. I don't know if the camera can show. And you see this place that is so flat, something would swell, and it would stay there for a long time. And occasionally it would become so painful that it would almost render my hand unusable. Is that an English word? But my hand would be very, very heavy. And the thing would stay there for like a month, 2. You see, I wasn't putting anything to it, so it was just a normal thing. For me to get malaria was common, and of course in my mind I knew it's because we're not using mosquito nets. So many times I had malaria symptoms, where I get fevers, chills, I get diarrhea, vomiting, and I would respond to medication. Particularly class 7, I was 13 years. I was lying down, and then I just passed out, and I don't know what happened. So I woke up in the hospital, Kitale District Hospital. I don't know what it is called now. I don't know. It's a level something. And the symptoms I presented with, I was given the it's called quinine, something.
The quinine.
The quinine, the one that
there was a chloroquine and there was a
it was a chloroquine. It was a chloroquine. Those injections that when you're done, your body itches, and then you have to go back to the hospital to be given Piriton.
It's actually for 3 days. I don't know why.
It was 7 days.
7?
Yes.
What?
I used to be given injection for 7 days or 5. 5 or 7. I think so. In my mind now, I'm thinking they would give you according to the severity of the disease, of the condition at that particular time. And so these were just on and offs. Like I think from 30, when I was 13, is when I would get very serious bouts of sicknesses that were unexplained. But anytime I went to the hospital, I would just be treated and I would be okay. Except some conditions that would persist for so long. Like I remember I think in high school, when I was joining Form 4, first term, I spent most of my time away from school because I had symptoms that presented like ulcers. Like, I just had this heartburn that would never end. So you take medication, and every time you have to go to the hospital. And when I went for the hospital and I was tested, I think I did a stool test for amoebiasis. And the doctor said, hizi vitu zimekukula kabisa. And I was on medication for a long time. And that thing made me look thin. I mean, it just cut my weight. So much that by the time I was sitting for the final exam, the invigilator was wondering if I was the one. And so I'm writing my first English paper. And then invigilator, like, now she just goes round checking just to like confirm everyone. And then she gets to my desk and she keeps on going and coming. And then we finish the paper, and then he calls the others. They're like, look at this photo and this one. Do they look the same? I'd cut my hair. Now my hair has grown. It has been permed. It looks nice. And then they called the deputy principal, and she was like, yeah, she's the one. She's been in this school. We have her records. She participates in everything. Can always confirm with us. And so those were just bouts of, like, I would sleep one morning. I remember a particular day after I finished high school. And we watched a movie with a cousin of mine throughout the night. At around midnight, we slept. At 6 a.m., I had this diarrhea that could not be explained. And by 10 a.m., I was so dehydrated. And the nearest hospital, I'd come to visit my uncle at South B. So I was taken to RTI, Railway Training Institute. And it was just a clinic. So they didn't have the drips to give me. And I remember them mixing for me ORS, 5 liters. And I kept on taking and vomiting and taking and vomiting. And then they kept saying, as long as there's something retained, she will rehydrate. And at the end of 2 days, I was okay. So a lot of those kind of episodes happened when I was growing up. But when I got to college, I went to Njoro. Njoro is particularly very cold. And I started getting asthmatic attacks. And sometimes they would get so severe. And many times they saw the ambulance coming towards our hostel. More often than not, it would be me the ambulance was coming for. And there are times like, I remember a day I was picked up and the school nurse was away and I had to be taken to, now they call it the level 5. I think it's level 5 Nakuru. Then we used to call it the medical, I think. Yeah, the level 5 hospital in Nakuru. And so I even knew the medication that I would be given. There was one shot called the adrenaline. It would be given on the muscle. And my arm would pain for a whole week. Can't even lift it up. And because they were recurring many times. And then I just finished and I'm okay. I would react to drugs in a way that I can't understand. Like there's a time I couldn't take paracetamol. Anytime I take paracetamol, I start wheezing. And so I was branded an asthmatic. And then after some time, it just ends. It cools down like nothing happened. And so I just continued in my life. Never pinned it to anything. So every time I fell sick, I would present to the hospital and I would be treated and I would be okay. Until 2020, June 25th, we had just celebrated my husband's birthday and a family, not June, July. And a family decided to come and visit us. And while we were escorting them, I started feeling cold and chilly. And I think I tell my friend, I feel like I'm getting malaria. So I go take medication, I take some paracetamol, and in the night, my teeth are now rattling. So we decided, no, let's go to the hospital. So July, we began the journey of having fevers and tremors and chills, and it would last for a whole 5 months. And it was so predictable that if I have fever on Monday, on Tuesday I'll be okay. On Wednesday it will come. And it would come from 3 p.m. So I got even to a point where when I know today is the day of fever, God. We say it laughing. I know today is the day of fever. I want to do everything and finish so that
by the time it comes.
Yes. And so the sun will be hot. You know, we stay in Kitengela and Kitengela is known for heat. At around 3 or 4, you find me in maybe 2 pairs of socks, heavy ones. I have a sweat pant, I have a jacket and another one, and I still dip myself inside the duvet and my teeth are still rattling. I am feeling cold. And so every time I got it, when it became worse, like paracetamol could not just cool it down. So I would end up in the hospital. And if you remember, it was the COVID season. The day I presented with the temperatures lowest, I think it was 39.5. So they're going to 40, 41, 40. So I appear in the hospital, and if I find somebody that I didn't find the other day, the first thing they think is, I have COVID.
Because it was the COVID season.
It was the COVID season. And that became my life. And every time I went there, because now the paracetamols could not take away the fever, I had to be given the paracetamol shot. I was injected those ones. I think if I can count up to 60. I remember this one day I went and I asked the nurse, unataka kunidunga hiyo? And I felt hot tears run down my cheeks because I was tired. And so I feel like this when I go to the hospital. Now, of course, when you're treated, you're told, come tomorrow so that you can go to the lab. Sometimes I would even go to the lab then. There's nothing in the results. Nothing. Like they do full hemogram, nothing. They test for malaria, nothing. Anything that would anything that the doctors and the clinician think that can cause that kind of fever tested negative. And now that became a journey that I did month 1, month 2, month 3. So by the 3rd month, the clinicians were tired of seeing the same thing. And so after I did, I'm trying to remember the last test that I did to check for specific bacteria that they thought was causing, because they say like sometimes you can taste and it doesn't reveal the exact bacteria. So when it is persistent, they want to do a specific test. It's called a blood culture. So they decided I do a blood culture, and the clinician told me, kindly, when you get the results, don't come to me. You will see the MO. I think that is now they started escalating. So I see the MO. And of course, the MO also has I think now I know that they have a range of tests that they can also run to determine what the cause is. And so we go with the MO, and he escalates it to more and more tests. But along the way, I start getting symptoms like there's a time my weight would just be adding. Like in a week, you find I've even added 2 kgs. And then a time comes, I think it was around October, and I had lost 8 kgs in 10 days. And that day, the MO said, Irene, when is the last time you took an HIV test? And I said, by that time, I think my son was 9. So the one I took last was when I was paged on the ANC profile. So I told him 9 years ago, I said, I think you need to take another one. I said, yes, I think I need to check. You know, at the back of my mind, I'm saying, anything that can bring this drama to an end, I will take it. And I remember going into that HTC. Is it called a HTC? It's not a visit, it's something. And the lady there tells me, you know now, coincidentally, I've done a course in HIV testing, counseling, and management. So I know how to counsel HIV patients. So I get there, and she wants me to go through the protocols, and I tell her, my dear, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know, just spare me this. Then I asked her, just remind me that if I see 1 line, I am negative, and if I see 2, I am positive. At that time, I was ready to be told I'm HIV positive. If only we know and I get the medicine, I will be okay. Nothing. The line was 1. Didn't have HIV. And the sweats at night, I would get from 11. The day I'm not having the fever, I am sweating. I have to change the bed sheets. I have to change until I had to spread a towel to lie on it so that it doesn't, you know, when a towel gets wet and when a bed sheet gets wet. So I would say, rather, let me use the towel. And my husband would wake up at night to warm water to just help me cool down my body because I was sweating profusely. And, you know, you don't know what to do. And I think one day, I went into that and I passed out while I'm on the bed. So I wake up, I'm in the hospital. I'm like, sasa nini menileta hapa? And I didn't tell you that I would occasionally lose my hair. Like I would just be having nice hair. And then in a span of like 1 week, 2 weeks, really? Wondering, my hair is not, is looking funny. It's looking like somebody that has been malnourished for a long time. It looked like somebody had been plucking chunks of my hair. I remember a time I went to the salon too. I wanted to do a retouch. And the salonist looked at my hair and she took a scissor and cut it.
Really?
Ask her, Jemima, why are you cutting my hair? I can be, Mom, this one looks bad. Let us just cut it. And then we leave like a small one and then we start plating from there. I had those many episodes of... By then I made peace with me not having hair. It's okay. I put on wigs. I will just plait my hair because I can't keep my natural hair. It is not as bad now because I'm on medication, but I still don't have the confidence of just having my own hair. Of course, my nails could also tell the story sometimes. They would just be brittle and breaking and cracking. And I would wonder, sasa hizi ni gani? And you see, by that time, no diagnosis has been made. So we go back to the story of how my diagnosis is made. So after doing so many tests, The AMO tells me, Irene, I think I've done everything that is within my power to do. I kindly ask that you go and see a physician. And she said, don't come back here, Irene. Just go and see the physician. He should be able to help you. And he drew a number and gave me a number and told me, talk to her. Book an appointment with her. I booked an appointment with the physician. And that is now beginning of October. And now we start again another journey. Of course, now they won't repeat the tests that have been done by the clinicians, by the AMO. So her, she escalates and does better ones even. And the better ones that she does are not covered by any insurance. No, not insurance. Not any. I was using NHIF then. And NHIF could not cover most of the tests that I was taking from the physician. Of course, a few from the AMO also could not be covered. And so it meant it is an out-of-pocket affair. So I did that a lot. So we did the first test. It was negative. The second test, negative. The third one, I can't even remember the names of those tests. I just got to a point where, Daktari, I don't care what you do. Just figure it out. Let me know what is it so that we can start a journey and know that this is the way we are taking. And one day the doctor tells me, Irene, this one is negative. And so there is one more test I want us to do. I have had the resistance to do it, but I think now I don't have an option. It is called an ANA. Kamuza Daktari, iyo ni nini? And she told me it is an antibodies test to test whether and be okay, just write for me. Where that test, it was costing 17,000. I said, okay. I decided to take it. Said now, looking for money is not as hard as looking for the diagnosis, so let me just get it. And the test takes 14 days. So I had 17 days of waiting. Yeah, 14 days, because now there were 2 days of, taking it, and because it was not being done from where I was. And in between, the doctor decided to put me on some steroids. That is for 2 weeks. When I started taking the steroids, my weight was adding like every hour. I had that, like I weigh, until I would go to the hospital and say, I think you've not calibrated these weighing machines. And I go and test another place. Imagine it was the same. You like if I was maybe, I started when I was 90. So at 90, then tomorrow you find you are 90.3. Then you come again, you'll find like, hey, it is 90.8. And it just keeps adding and adding. Because the doctor had already told me that this one of the side effects is that it has an abnormal weight add. But when she gave me the steroids, the fever ceased, which was a better thing for me, because now the running to the hospital and coming back. Should I mention that my husband could not even go out of town many times because he didn't want to leave me sick. And by that time, our children were in boarding schools. So most of the time, I'm home alone with him. And so my husband was always there to make sure that he takes me to the hospital, always looking for the money to pay for these tests and everything. And so the ANA test came back, and the doctor said, Irene, this one has tested positive. I had a mixture of feelings and emotions. I didn't know whether to be happy because we have gotten the cause of my problem, or to be sad that I have a condition that I have to live with. And the doctor was very kind. She told me, Irene, this is not the end of the road. In fact, now this is the beginning of a new journey. So, and she gave me examples of her patients, and she drew files of people that were sick. She told me, you see these ones come here because of SLE. And she told me, I want you to go and read about SLE. She sent me sites. So SLE is the systematic lupus erythematosus, something. And she was like, don't worry about the terms, but the most important thing is that you should know is that lupus is a condition where your body fights against itself. And that is why every time you did a full hemogram, the white blood cells would always present so many. Do you know, I think I got to a point where I could translate my full hemogram results. Just look at it and know, nikiona hizo white blood cells ziko hapo plus, najua unoma. And so the doctor took me through, I think she did a good counseling to me. And she told me this is not the end of the road. And in the diagnosis, the ratio, you know, every disease has its severity. Mine was at the lowest. Actually at the lowest. Because it was 1 to the ratio of 1,000. And I'm asking Daktari, so if somebody has more than 1, because me, the suffering I have suffered, and you're telling me mine is at the lowest kabisa. And she told me, I'll tell you what it means next time when you come for a visit. So the day I went for a visit, the next time, she wanted to tell me. A young lady who was, I think, 21 years had seen her before me. And her file was this big. And she said, this one has SLE, but hers is almost at 50 to the ratio of 1,000. And then when we were done with the diagnosis for that day, I left with a prescription of 7,500. That other girl left with the prescription of 75,000. And I said, Daktari, now I believe I am not sick. Now I know. Because if somebody, and you know, like that patient had issues with her kidneys, her heart was failing, like basically her internal organs, her body was fighting her internal organs. And for me, doing the test on the internal organs, they were all perfect. Nothing missing, nothing broken. You know the way we preach it, nothing missing. It was good. So now I just had to start living with this condition that now was new to me.
So has it ever, because yes, you've been sickly since you were a child, but you didn't know what was ailing you. Now you know it is lupus. How did it even change your perspective about life and how you see and how you even relate with other people?
The first thing that hit me was the number of people that cannot access medical facilities. That thing hit me hard. Because I said, how many people could be having this condition? They do not know. They are not on medication. They do not have access. How bad is their situation? And I started thanking God that at least I had access to information. I had access to medicine. I had access to good doctors. I think that one hit me hard. And the thing that it changed in my life, I think for once, I realized the value of life. Because for me to wake up well, I am telling you it's a miracle. I live one day, like that is the last day I'm living on this earth. Because I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I mean, I've been in those situations where you wake up. Now let me tell you, a day, we were watching a movie with my husband. And we finished at Irene around 1. In the morning, I had tonsillitis. And I can't even swallow saliva. These glands are swollen. Like you can look at them and see. And I just started feeling, when we were watching the movie, I started telling him, I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling pain swallowing. And then I think, Taisha too. I'll take hot water, ginger, whatnot. So I woke up and I was in the hospital. And the doctor said, you have to be admitted. My husband is like, no, she's not that sick. And the doctor asked, Mzee, kama hatawezi meza mate yake, sasa dawa atameza aje? Imagine I had to be in the hospital for 5 days.
Wow. Because of tonsillitis?
It was bad.
Wow.
Oh, bad was bad. I couldn't swallow anything. So even I couldn't be given per oral. So it meant all the antibiotics come to the veins. And for the first 3 days I was there, I couldn't even eat food. So I had to be given dextrose many times so that at least my body keeps on functioning. So I started eating. And of course, nobody would have released me if I wasn't eating. I mean, I couldn't have been discharged. So I was there for 5 days. And after 5 days, I was healed like nothing had happened.
Wow.
But coming out of the hospital that time, I didn't have hair.
Really?
In fact, I had just undone my hair so that kesho niende salon nioshwe. Hey, I appeared in the salon and the lady, she's called Eunice. It's like, hey, mami, kwani ulienda kufanyia nini nywele?
So, and I know for ladies, we love hair a lot. What does it do to you emotionally?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow. Wow. Is it because of the time? Because it has affected you for a long time. You've come to accept it.
Not even just because of the lupus.
Yeah.
Because you see, these are things that used to happen and I didn't know why. So naturally, I had already accustomed myself to knowing mimi na nywele. So I started appreciating the other things that God gave me, counting my blessing and saying, nywele itanipea pressure in dunia. And then I kept telling people, if you have long hair, you don't need extensions. As we are the ones that need the extensions to add on our hair. So it has not affected me emotionally.
And has your daily routine changed?
I wouldn't say it has changed, except the days when I wake up and I'm very sick. Of course, that day, if you had plans, you call them off. You don't even have to call them off. They call themselves off.
You are sick. They don't have a choice. They can't have you.
They can't have me. So
you mentioned your husband a lot. Like in every statement. You've mentioned your husband a lot. That means
he needs to be
take your flowers.
Take your flowers and just remove your cap and bow to him because that is my support system.
Wow. Wow. What more can you ask for? Your children?
Even now, I can forget that I don't have medicine. He will not forget.
For real?
He cannot.
Wow. Wow.
He cannot.
How often do you take your medication?
Daily.
Oh, really?
Daily.
Like daily?
Daily.
Tablets?
Tablets, yes.
Oh, wow.
Daily.
Economically? How is that?
Pressing. As in, if you don't have money for milk, you must have money for the medicine.
In any way, is it covered? Insurance?
No. In fact, it is not even stocked in the hospitals.
Wow. So where do you get them?
At the chemist.
Oh, really? And do you need tests or you just on medication?
I am on medication. Now, this is what happens after years of learning the disease and everything and getting... So with the lupus, maybe this is what I would say for people who do not know. We say that lupus is a condition that your body fights itself. And so many times you get symptoms and symptoms that can mimic a certain disease. So if it mimics that disease, you take medication, it does not cease, then the medication that I am on is usually to just make sure that the symptoms do not rise up. But sometimes it pushes too much and it breaks forth. So when it does that, then if I talk to the doctor or if I go back for the test, so there's a test I do regularly, like when I feel the symptoms, besides taking the test on this other disease, I will also want to check on how the symptoms are happening, and that test is called ESR. Please don't ask me the meaning. You will Google.
It's okay. We will have the doctor
when I do ESR, it has a limit. So when it goes beyond the limit, I think the limit is 10. So anytime it goes beyond, I know that at that time we say I am having a flare. So this flare can come in any way. So for me, mostly it comes in pain. So I get a lot of pain, mostly on my joints. And it can be the joint from the shoulders. I could have joints on my waistline, on my hip bone, on my knees, and even on my heels. So that, like, sometimes I can just wake up and you feel like I'm limping because the pain is too much. So I take alongside the medication, and if the flare is too high, most of the time the doctor will just advise that I double the dosage. So instead of taking once a day, I take twice a day, and then also treat the pain. So the pain mostly I just treat with the painkillers. But now I also got to know that painkillers are in levels. So that one, paracetamol, does not cure.
Wow. So what drives you? What drives you with all that going on in your life? Like, what drives you?
I think the joy of just knowing that God has a plan and a purpose for my life, and knowing that I have people who look up to me, and knowing that I have a society that really supports me. I think that drives me.
Yeah. There is someone who probably has just been diagnosed
With lupus.
with lupus. They're at a place where they don't even know where to go, what to do, what to think. They are handling all those. You remember those emotions that you had when you were just diagnosed. What can you tell that person?
Maybe this is what I would say. I think we have good doctors in Kenya. And if somebody gets to a point of being diagnosed, you probably are able to access medical facilities. You are able to access treatment. You are able to access help. My heart cries much more for people who could be suffering and they do not know what to do. And I pray, I don't know how seriously people take their health issues, but I think many people that I've interacted with, someone can be sick and they're even hesitant to just go to the doctor. And I've come to know that we have help around. I don't think there's a condition that doesn't have help. And so, for me, knowing that you have a condition is already enough information to keep you going because you already know how to fight. But if you do not know, and because I was looking at, the doctor was telling me that this condition mostly affects women. And sometimes I minister to women, somebody that has been sick and sick and sick and they can't even tell. And if you ask them to go to the hospital, they're like, I've taken some over-the-counter medicine. And I think that is a very big undoing in Kenya. I think our life expectancy can grow, can be longer if people just put in a little more value into their health. But I also think that the government should be able to provide a means where even those that do not have an income can be able to access medication. Because imagine somebody who's paying rent of 5,000 and then they have a diagnosis of 17,000 to go and make. Atalipa rent ama atenda kununua dawa. And you see, these are some of the things that I think, I sincerely think that the government should be able to offer this kind of facility so that everybody. Esther, I'm telling you the truth. Many people who die, you know, the way the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Many people in Kenya die because they do not have access to medical facilities.
And probably they die because they die not knowing what was ailing them.
They die not knowing what was ailing them. And you see now, if you know, you can avert it. You can prevent it. So I think there's that need for, the government to bring in the resources, the people to be empowered so that they know not every disease is treated by Panadol and cetirizine and everything. People need to take their health seriously.
And I'm glad we're having this conversation because that's one of our main aim, to create awareness and just see how we can all be helped.
You know, one time when I was so sick, I think I despaired. I told my husband, when you're a preacher, I remember telling him, you know Lazarus? The Bible says that when Jesus was told that Lazarus was sick, Jesus said, this disease is not unto death. And I was telling him, so there are diseases that are unto death. So I think we need to start accepting that death can come even to me. Hey, my husband prayed over me. He laid his hands on me. He said, death, I curse you. Every thought of dying, I curse you.
You're defeated in Jesus' name.
You're defeated in Jesus' name. Because I was feeling like I don't have hope. I don't know what is ailing me. I can actually wake up one morning. You see now, like the day I woke up, I woke up in the hospital. In my night dress. Like, who carried me like this? And I remember that time, there's a test I was done for, going to a TFT, thyroid function or something. The doctors know what it is. I think it's a TFT or something. TFT, I don't know.
Wow. Wow. So even for you, knowing what you have was a relief.
It was a big relief.
Yeah.
It was a big relief
Yeah.
because you see now, I walk being aware of who I am.
Yeah.
When I get sick, I know what happened.
Yeah.
Like this season, I don't know whether this is a flare, but my blood pressure is misbehaving. I wake up last week on Friday, Thursday, it was at 199 over 105. And I'm like, hey. So the lady who's even taking the view, like, hey, iko juu. I also don't know what to do at that time. So I take the medication, it doesn't go down. I take water. Now it's like just taking water, trying to relax. And I'm trying to tell my mind, I hope my mind, you are not stressed, so that it just cools down. And I take naps. The days I wake up, I feel so lazy. I don't want to do anything. Anything, even making tea, I don't want. Just make the tea. If you want to bring for me later, kama hakuna ni sawa. I don't feel like doing anything. And that is one of the symptoms. That is one of the flares. There's nothing you can do about it. So knowing this condition, I think for me it has helped me to find, I don't lose hope because I know something that is under control. And I say one day, if I die because of this, I will not have died an ignorant person. I will have died fighting. Even though I don't see that one coming up very soon. Because the doctor that talked to me, the one that read for me the diagnosis, told me you can actually live your full life. So if you have 70 or 80 years, it is possible to live them. So I proclaim it for myself, and I know I'll do it.
Amen. Amen.
I'm about.
So besides your husband being the support system, I know even your children, are you in any support group? Do you know anyone who has lupus? Do you have anyone you work with who probably is walking the same journey with you?
Not really. And again, I think I've learned how to fight my battles silently. I wouldn't say secretly, but I know sometimes when people find me down, some think that because I'm also a pastor, it's like my faith has gone down. Unajua unafaa kuwa na imani. And I know, lupus in. And I pray for them and they get miracles. And I also, by the way, I pray for myself every day. I tell God, I know one day I'll come out of this. One of the biggest blessings that I actually count is when the MO was referring me to the physician, and she told me, Irene, when you're done with Nancy, please come and tell me what you found out. So when I told him, when I brought the results, he asked me if I have children. And he kept on asking, he was reading the results and asking, and the third time I asked him, Daktari, why did you ask? He said, you see, there are many people who have lupus and they are not able to conceive. You know what I say? Thank God I did not know about this lupus before I gave birth, because I would have been afraid. Fear would have made me not even try. But I thank God that I got to know.
And maybe even the doctors will have discouraged you. Because
and
they know.
I was 42 years then. So my last born was 9 years.
Wow.
So I bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord with you. And I'm loving the conversation. I would like us to take a break. And then when we come back, we shall have a specialist so that we can also get to hear the other side medically.
Okay.
Thank you. Welcome back to Behind the Diagnosis. I'm sure you're enjoying our conversation, or you are following it keenly with Irene. And now we are joined with Dr. Eugene. So we get to hear more about lupus and know how to go out or navigate medically. Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me. Happy to spread the word on lupus.
Awesome. Introduce yourself.
So my name is Eugene Kalman. I'm a physician and rheumatologist. I teach at the university and I run a small practice in Apai. Yes. Thank you.
So you've had Irene's story.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about it?
It's sad. Unfortunately, that's what most patients go through, especially in this part of the world. Partly because even as when you're being trained, I remember like my first lupus case I saw in medical school was being usually we have grand rounds. So grand rounds usually present unique cases to the whole of the medical school. So she was presented. So we left after the grand and go to the wards to look for her, the whole of medical school, because that case was so rare. Those days, people thought that this is not available in Africa, even in Kenya. So the challenge we have with the disease that there's a low index of suspicion. That's one. Then number two, the symptoms are very non-specific in a way. And sometimes the patient, like in this part of the world, if I come tell you about fever and joint pains, the first thing people think about is malaria, typhoid. We are more into the infectious part rather than think about non-infectious causes of fever in particular, like what she had. And I've done research locally, and most of the patients who come, the most common symptoms they have are usually fever, joint pain, skin sensitivity, and usually also blood issues, either low blood, either the white cells are low, or the HB is low, the platelets are low. Those are the four most common symptoms in this part of the world. In terms of time to diagnosis, from that particular research that we did, the average was between 3 to about 13 years. So you can see the length of diagnosis is long. But if you compare us and abroad, we are almost the same, because even abroad, like some studies from the US have put up to 6 years. And those 6 years, they're probably sending up to 4 or 5 doctors before the diagnosis is made. So it's not one of the easiest things to make, to be honest.
You mentioned, Irene, the type of lupus. Does it mean there are different types of lupus?
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Maybe for those who don't know what lupus is a very interesting disease. So we have what we call the immune system. So that's it, biology. So the immune system is like the soldiers that fight infection. When you have lupus falls under what we call autoimmune diseases. So the immune system now fights you rather than doing what? Protecting you. So it can affect any part of the body. So in terms of the types of lupus, we have a couple of types. The most common is systemic, meaning it affects multiple systems. Other types you have things like the cutaneous, the skin alone manifestations. We have drug-induced. Some of the drugs that we use, though we have tests that can tell us is drug-induced or the normal lupus. Very unfortunate that people come. I've seen a few cases of friend, maybe the mom didn't know they had lupus, or the mom had lupus, they take medicine, they get pregnant, and then the baby gets some called neonatal lupus. So it happens sometimes.
Okay. And how is it managed? Like Irene says, she takes medicine like every day.
Every day.
Is it for everyone? For every type?
It's essentially in a way true. Partly because if one of the common questions we get asked by patients, what causes lupus? You see, if you look at something like typhoid, malaria, the malaria parasite has been identified, typhoid parasite has been identified. But for lupus, we don't know what causes. So we think there could be a genetic issue that puts people at risk, and the genetic issue is really found more in the X chromosome. That's what we see more in ladies. So when you have that particular defect, plus other things that we are yet to discover, you get now the evolution to get lupus. So the challenge in that, it also means that treating it is not that easy. So our treatment is not actually to kill the disease, is more to put the disease in a state where it can't harm the body. And the challenge is most of our medicines will take time to start working. Some take up to 3 months to start working, others even 6 months. So that long duration means that treating it is also not so straightforward. So the medicine is for some time. Essentially, if you are doing well, we'd like our patients to be just on one drug, the drug that is on HCQ. HCQs are our backbone for all our lupus patients. They've done some research trying to see if we can take you off the HCQ. They've been that encouraging. So as for now, until further notice, we just at least minimum should be what HCQ. The others are depend on what manifestation the patient has. If you have kidney, albiasis, drug, from this about that drug. But that being said and done, there's been some promising news coming out from our colleagues abroad. There's a treatment called CAR T-cell therapy, which potentially has hopes of cure. Potential hopes of cure. But the challenge with lupus is that my lupus, your lupus are all different, and they all go to the signs of the disease. So why the manifestation is so different is because in the signs of the disease, different chemicals play major roles. So you'll find maybe one patient is more of the B cell pathway, the other maybe the T cell pathway. So the treatment varies. So like for those patients who have done well on the CAR T cell therapy, I guess will be reached at the end. They've done option A has refused, B has refused. So they tried it. Actually, they bought it from cancer. They bought it from cancer. They gave the girl, she did well. They did another one, she did well. And they think this, I think, year 3 or year 4. And so far, things are looking well. The disease activity is actually low and they're doing well. But it's expensive. And I'll be asked, can I go to India? That drug is very expensive. It's almost 60 million Kenya shillings. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I know. Before I get to those questions, just to preempt that question, but like I said, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. There's a criteria that has been put.
Any lifestyle?
So that's another question I get asked. The science of the disease is not a lifestyle disease. Lifestyle disease will be something like gout. Take alcohol, take a lot of nyama choma, get gout. But in terms of lupus, lifestyle not that much. Though some data, I know there's a paper I came across somewhere, they said that if you had a good lifestyle, you can't get lupus. But sometimes, what is the definition of a good lifestyle? It's a bit hard. But that being said and done, we still encourage our patients to live a healthy lifestyle because the studies that we done before, short-term guys would die because of infections and poor disease control, especially the first part of the disease. Now, when you control the disease and they live longer, now we have those heart issues, hypertension, diabetes, and that's where the diet now comes into play there. And there's some people say anti-inflammatory diets, but to be honest, the diets play a very small role. But that being said and done, we tell patients if food A disturbing you, achana nayo, get another alternative.
And Irene says she started having those symptoms, although she didn't know what it was when she was still a child. Was she born with lupus? Are people born with lupus?
That's a good question. So we are not actually born with lupus. The things from the research, okay, if you look at men, female, there's XX, XY, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm doing a bit molecular. So the XX, or one of the X genes, is a gene that inactivates autoimmune diseases, isn't it? So if we have two, probably one of them is not working. If you have one, it's definitely not working. That's why we have more ladies having it. So, but apart from that, there's some issues in the genes that put girls at risk. And then when that happens now, when something comes as a trigger, it wakes up. The challenge usually get asked by patients, but I have had nobody in this family with that particular problem. But you know, in Africa, we have no records from the 15th century, 16th century. Like there's a very famous queen, I think Queen Anne or someone, one of the queens from England. She basically had lupus. She had the rashes. Even from the artwork that was drawn, you could see the mala rash. She had multiple pregnancy losses. She was always ill and everything. So if you look at her history and what she had at the time, she probably had what? Lupus. But nobody thought of lupus back in the day. So I think this has been there for a long time. It's just that we always assume, maybe it's malaria, maybe it's what.
Do you have rheumatologists in the rural areas?
We are not many, to be honest. Our numbers have increased, mostly in Nairobi. But we have somebody in Mombasa. She was my senior. She was Sophia Dokwe. We have another in Eldoret. She's called Beryl. We have another one in Kisumu. It's called Charles. There's one in Nakuru who's about to go for training. She'll go to training sometime this year. Nairobi is where most of the people are. Aga Khan has some guys. There's Fred. there's Naomi. We come to Kenyatta, we have Etau, and a lady called Sibyl. KU has somebody. I haven't met a person, but there's somebody who's there, I'm told. And Pisha have somebody also now also there. So we can see the numbers are not many, but slowly they're increasing. For a long time, it was Prof. Oyo was alone, Prof. And Simani for a very long time.
And I'm just wondering, that village person who's probably going through what Irene was going through. Wow, interesting conversation. What would you advise someone who probably have symptoms? Yes, because you've mentioned them, and most of the time when you go to the hospital, you will be treated this and then this and this. Is there a way we can? It can be shorter, maybe, because I don't know if it's on the side of the doctors or on the side of the patient. But the patient, what can you do? If you are unwell, you are unwell.
I think because I know our undergraduate training might not pick it up that quickly, but we have physicians and we have all over the place. If you see seeing a physician, usually the way medicine is, you have the MO, medical officer, then there's a physician, then there's a specialist now. So I'm sure if you can get to physician level there, you'll be able to pick it up. But in terms of maybe clues that something is wrong, you know, like for example, like you do blood count and your blood is always low, you should wonder why. It may not be lupus, but it's good to know why. Unexplained fevers like yours, on off, joint pains, even blood clots. And sometimes we always quick to brush it aside, but why you, not somebody else? And something which is also very common, very unfortunate though, is pregnancy loss. These unexplained pregnancy loss in the first trimester, the first 3 months. I know we're always quick to replace in Africa, bad luck and all that stuff. But before you replace, it's always good to confirm there's nothing. Because it's very unfortunate when you find a person comes, like I saw a patient who had lost 8, and between that 8, I think like 2 or 3 were IVFs. So it's normally very sad. You actually do more counseling rather than anything else. It's very unfortunate. Even the one lost 10. There's a story in the dailies where someone I think in Nyanza had been called, she was the angel of death or something, because she was getting recurrent miscarriages, and nobody would think about what lupus.
Wow.
So I think we have those ones. Just be, the physicians everywhere. Just be the physician. It may be a bit expensive, but I think cheap is expensive. So just get a good doctor. See, if you're not satisfied, get a second opinion. Like that. And if you ever stuck, just come to Kenyatta.
And is there anything that the doctors or physicians can do? Like, you see, for cancer, there's a lot of awareness. Medical camps, they're saying, oh, come and test this at this particular age, women, go and check this. Can that also be done?
Yes, so there's something we do with Professor Oyo. It's called the Uwezo Rheumatology Initiative. We usually go from region to region. We try and organize like trainings, because we're not many rheumatologists. So we do trainings on how to approach these rheumatic things, lupus and everything. So we've been around, we've been to Malindi, Mombasa, even Kisumu, I think Kisii, we've been there, Homa Bay, next is Kakamega. So we move around. So I think that can help.
Yes.
Number 2, we are really trying to see how we can strengthen our curriculum. Because we have so many medical schools, and outside Kenyatta, and maybe Moi, and maybe Jaramogi, those medical schools have no rheumatologists. So they may not be able to understand, unless you see and hear from you, may not be able to really comprehend what is happening there. So these are some of the things we're trying to do. Also through our Truma, Truma is the regional body for rheumatologists. We're really trying to see how we can foster partnerships and everything.
Wow. Interesting. Is there any stigma? Is there any stigma when it comes to lupus?
I wouldn't say like personally I've been stigmatized, but I find it tedious to start explaining to somebody that, like when somebody finds you sick, like, people always want to prescribe something. This, just take this. Like if somebody finds me with pain in my legs, they are quick to. So for me, I find it tedious. Sometimes I find it unnecessary to tell them that relax, I know my condition, I know my battles, I know how to fight. So because of that, I think I many times choose to go through my pain silently. Like I won't tell you I am unwell. Yeah, so like even if you need me to do something and that day my body can't, I'll just tell you, sorry, I can't make it today, and I will tell you the reason. I've not been in a space where I have to speak and like see the reaction of people. No, but I know it is, for me it is tedious to touch. Like if you tell somebody that your body is fighting you, then aje sasa, and you see now. So I just don't get myself involved. I mean, unless you know me so closely, I can't open up, and it is not fear of stigma. It is just that I think I don't have the energy to explain. I only have energy to take care of myself.
Of yourself. Yeah, I hear you. So yeah, this is interesting, and I am sure one or two people, even if we reach one person, that means a lot to us, because that's why we're here. How is the cost of treatment for lupus?
Lupus is not the cheapest disease. I'm sure she'll attest to that. From seeing the doctor, the tests are unimaginable. Like he did, Anna was it 17,000 or something?
17,000.
No, the cost has come down. Anna is one of the tests used to diagnose lupus, and there are others that we do. There's one for pregnancy loss that costs almost 30,000. It's almost 10,000. You can see it's a lot of money. If you're doing a kidney biopsy of kidney of the lupus, it's almost 60,000. So it's if there's something which can help us a lot, would be maybe SHA or the insurances. I know some of the cancer guys are able to get their drugs and the procedures there, but it's from the patient who are advocated for that. In terms of insurances, to be honest, she'll even tell you, most people once they see lupus, they just say no. Either they say no, or they hike their premiums.
Just interject there. When you're filling in for insurance, they always want you to speak about pre-existing conditions. Anytime you mention anything pre-existing, the premiums go up. And then I've just been doing the registration with initially. By the time I was being diagnosed, I have been a contributor to NHIF from 2000. I used to contribute to NHIF, and so NHIF was able to take care of lupus patients, for me particularly, in an outpatient center. And I know I don't know, maybe the doctor can help me, but most of the times I presented with a condition, it is a condition that did not need admission. So many times I would be able to get the outpatient. My NHIF covered for outpatient. I was put in a clinic called MOPC, Medical Outpatient Clinic, and I was faithfully doing it every month without fail, and NHIF was taking care of it. And by that, you see, like I had would I call it a diary? Like if I face something, I see something that I am not familiar with, I would note it down, so when I go for my visit, it would help. Unfortunately, I have just registered for SHA, and SHA does not give me outpatient. So all the treatments now, because NHIF was taking care of my consultation and everything, now I have to go for consultation every month if I'm going for MOPC, and they are charging me 700. So I think it is expensive. I think being sick in Kenya is an expensive affair. Yani you'd rather just not be sick if God can give you good health. So my prayer would be if the government would consider some of these outpatient clinics and offer them, because if I'm not gonna be admitted and I have to see a physician, of course physicians were not even covered in NHIF. So with the physician, like personally I pay 2,500 per visit if I do it once a month. If I do a repeat in the same month, my doctors have been kind enough not to charge me in the course of the same month. So if I see this month and next month, I am not charged. And because again, lupus is very unpredictable, you do not know when you will fall sick. And sometimes it is a condition that it is not familiar. You've not encountered it before, so that you know that I can take this painkiller.
Yeah.
So it will end up leading you back to the doctor.
Yeah.
And anytime you go there, of course, you have to do tests and everything. They have to check. I've always taken a test for the kidneys. I'm trying to remember the name of that test. UECs. I do my UECs. I was doing it at some point. NHIF was offering it for free. Now it is not free, and I think I have to part with at least 2,000 to do that test. And the physician says at least we need to keep on checking, if not on a monthly basis, at least once in every 3 months. So it is an expensive affair. I wish the government could just help general public to access outpatient on SHA. That is my humblest of the requests to this government, if they can hear, because otherwise people are just not going to get treated.
Yeah, because I can imagine if you're feeling that and you live here in Nairobi,
Yes.
you can access even money. It might not be that, but yes, you can, and you can even, it is easy to access the doctor. So you can imagine someone in Tiaya.
5 consultation, 2,000 for the lab, another maybe 2,000 for the blood count. It's something called C3, C4, another 4,000, almost 10,000. That's minus medicine.
Yeah, minus medicine.
And you've
That's
not
minus.
traveled from
Exactly.
Kakamega.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that is the humblest of the requests. I think I still love the Kenyatta's policy, kick sickness, foolishness, and poverty out of this country. Please, I think we can kick sickness by offering, making sure that every Kenyan at least has access to medication and even to information.
Wow.
She's saying like there's some drugs that we share with the cancer, and like methotrexate, something called rituximab. Like rituximab is about 180,000. On the cancer side, if you have cancer, you get it for free. If I bring my lupus patient, I'm told no. So it's something maybe how, because some of the drugs are similar, and there are not many lupus patients, and not all of them require all those medicines. So there's a way some of them can be put in the formulary, and maybe either subsidized or maybe just for free. Will go a long way to help.
Wow. That was interesting, informative. Yeah, and I'm glad we did this. Thank you so much. I would love to hear your final remarks. I think I can start with Pastor Irene and then Dr.
Okay. Thank you, Esther, for having me. My first, maybe just have 2 points I would say. One, don't take your life for granted. If you feel you're sick in your body anywhere, try as much as possible to seek for medical assistance. Avoid over-the-counter drugs. Just go, have a talk with the doctor, and get diagnosed. And the second one, of course, is to the government to make medical accessible to the lowest, so that we don't have a nation, people working and they are sick. I think sickness is sickness will just prevent you from being the best or giving your maximum. So if the government can help us in that. And then, of course, to women, because lupus affects many women, I think if you see something recurring, don't just persist in treating it in the same way. And I know many times we have people who believe that prayers works, and I believe that prayers work, but let us not substitute the place of medicine with prayer, because these doctors, it is God that has given them the wisdom to crack these diseases. So let us not demonize people who are going for medical help as not having enough faith. Let us not have foolishness in the place of faith, thinking that You see, like for me, I would have decided maybe niende fasting ya 40 days, nimwagiwe mafuta, nichukue sadaka nipeleke. But you see, it is good to do all that, and we not condemning anybody, but go to the hospital.
That's good.
I think it is wisdom to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
It is wisdom to get medication.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Daktari, your final remarks and where you can be found.
Okay, so just to thank you for bringing this up. People are really suffer. I think it's just the stigma should end. Like I tell my patients, unfortunately, you're the first generation. So there's some things many people may not be able to understand. It's just to grow thick skin and just move on. So don't become a victim or a victor. And then maybe number two, maybe for the support groups, there are so many lupus groups out there. There are very many, very many. Like how politics in Kenya is. We have Fort Kenya, Fort Asili. And the challenge with that is that there are not many lupus patients. So having fragmented groups doesn't help anything. If they could just come together, just form just one group. One group means they can lobby for change. But if you have like 5 groups and maybe it's 10 guys, 20 guys, 30 guys, and the funny thing is, if you look at those groups, the same people are everywhere. It's just that when I want to just a repeat, just have one group, because like Alizo Professor says, the reason why the HIV drugs are very expensive and TB. The reason why those drugs are free is because guys lobbied, and people lobbied out doctors were the patients. So if they can form like a group and just push, be good. Like where I studied something called Lupus UK. So even they fund research. They go knock at Safaricom and say, Safaricom, hey, look, we have lupus patients here, we need research money, they give them money. Go to Airtel, go where they get a lot of money, they even have shops, they sell t-shirts, raising awareness and everything. So it's something which would be helpful. I know it's like one of the groups, I'm sorry to say, like one of my patients entered the group, and the first thing she found there was the 4 people died last year. So she's wondering, which group is this that I entered? You know, she immediately just exited and left. So I think the groups are more to, yes, they support, but I think crying it wouldn't help much. Just have to live normal life. Chamas, organized runs, like I don't understand why there's no lupus run. There's a matter heart run. Should be a lupus run or lupus walk or something. Just raise what? Awareness. But I think, thank you. I think our people suffer a lot. Thank you. So we appreciate.
Thank you. Awesome. I hope you've heard. The Lupus Warriors, Daktari has given you a hint. I think if you work on it, maybe something better can come out of it. So thank you for joining us today. As we always say, every story matters and every voice deserves to be heard. So we are here for it. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend so that we can all get all these that we are getting here. Asanteni sana.